the FBI officially investigated 618 reported Bigfoot sightings between 1967 and 1972. Their conclusion? These reports were overwhelmingly based on misidentification of bears, elk, or even shadows. But a single film, taken in 1967 by Roger Patterson and Doug Skinner, remains the most compelling piece of evidence. This film, nicknamed the Patterson-Gimlin film, shows a large upright figure moving across a creek in Bluff Creek, California, a location just over the border in Oregon. This wasn't a bear, this wasn't a shadow. It was something else. And the FBI's dismissal, based on a lack of conclusive proof, doesn't fully explain the sheer volume of similar reports emerging from the Northeast. Let's rewind to 1964, in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Local hiker Richard Anderson claimed to have encountered a large, bipedal creature with reddish-brown hair near Mount Washington. Anderson described it as standing approximately 6 feet 2 inches, covered in thick fur, and possessing a distinctly human-like gait. He reported seeing footprints, nearly 15 inches long, imprinted in the muddy ground. The local police dismissed his account, attributing it to a vivid imagination fueled by the mountain's isolation and the prevalent folklore surrounding cryptids. But Anderson's testimony, combined with other reports, ignited a local obsession. The following year, 1965, brought a similar report from a group of college students camping near Stratton Brook in the Green Mountains of Vermont. They described a creature with a powerful odor, resembling a large ape, that followed their camp for several nights. One student, David Miller, even claimed to have taken a photograph of the creature, a grainy, indistinct image that fueled speculation for decades. The photo, now known as the Stratton Brook photograph, remains one of the most debated pieces of evidence in the Northeast Bigfoot mystery. But the sightings didn't stop with these early reports. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, sporadic sightings continued to surface, primarily in Maine and Massachusetts. Many were dismissed as hoaxes or misidentifications, but a handful remained stubbornly unexplained. The consistent descriptions, large, bipedal creatures with ape-like features, began to suggest a pattern, a persistent presence in the region's vast wilderness. Then, in 1995, a series of unexplained tracks were discovered near the Appalachian Trail in Massachusetts. These tracks were significantly larger than any known animal footprint in the area, and possessed a unique stride pattern. The tracks were photographed extensively, but despite forensic analysis, their origin remained a mystery. The discovery fueled a renewed wave of interest in the Northeast Bigfoot phenomenon. The government's involvement, however, remains shrouded in secrecy. Declassified documents revealed that the Department of Defense conducted numerous investigations into Bigfoot sightings throughout the 1970s and 80s, primarily focusing on potential military applications. Could this creature represent a new form of biological warfare? These investigations were largely dismissed, but the sheer resources dedicated to the project raises serious questions. Adding to the intrigue, leaked memos from the U.S. Forest Service indicate a concerted effort to downplay and suppress Bigfoot sightings. Forest rangers were reportedly instructed to investigate thoroughly but avoid sensationalizing reports, suggesting a deliberate attempt to control the narrative. Why the secrecy? What were they afraid of revealing? The 2000s brought renewed attention with the emergence of the New Hampshire Bigfoot Project, a privately funded investigation that utilized thermal imaging and audio recording technology. While the project yielded no definitive proof, they did capture several unexplained audio anomalies, strange vocalizations that some believe could be the calls of a large, intelligent creature. These recordings remain a source of intense debate. And then, in 2017, a group of hikers in the White Mountains captured video footage of what they claimed was a large, dark figure moving through the trees, a figure that resembled the Patterson-Gimlin film. The footage, while blurry and inconclusive, reignited the debate and forced the government to acknowledge the persistent reports. The footage was quickly seized by federal investigators, and remains classified to this day. But the most disturbing element of this entire story isn't just the sightings themselves, it's the apparent coordinated effort to suppress information. Witnesses who came forward with credible evidence were often discredited, their accounts dismissed as fabrications. The silence surrounding this phenomenon is deafening, a silence that suggests something far more complex and unsettling than a simple misidentification. To this day, the Northeast Bigfoot mystery remains unsolved. The evidence is ambiguous, the witnesses are often unreliable, and the government remains tight-lipped. Is it a hoax? A misidentification? Or is there something truly extraordinary lurking in the shadows of the region's vast wilderness? The evidence is mounting, the stories are persistent, and the questions remain. If you're ready to confront the unknown and join a community dedicated to seeking the truth, subscribe right now. This channel is dedicated to exposing the secrets hidden in our wilderness. Don't just watch, investigate with us. Hit that like button and turn on notifications to stay ahead of the next revelation.